Join me, Dr. Mark, animal advocate, longtime rescuer, author, journalist, former law enforcement officer, as I dig deep to uncover the truth behind animal abuse secrets in our local government. As the creator of this video, I have seen firsthand how local governments ignore animal abuse. I've seen firsthand how law enforcement ignores animal cruelty. Across the world, animal abuse remains a staggeringly prevalent issue, with millions of cases reported every year. Behind the shocking statistics, however, lies an even more sinister problem: local governments concealing, denying that animal abuse is not a real issue. Government agencies fail to prioritize enforcement. Weak laws, lack of funding, band-aid fixes have allowed cruelty to persist. It's time for citizens, communities, our local churches and its congregation to hold their state and local governments accountable. We need to demand transparency, stricter laws, and real consequences for abusers. Animals deserve protection, not silence. This is a critical topic that demands our attention, and today, we're going to explore the alarming signs that suggest our local authorities might be hiding the truth from us. One telling sign of potential cover-ups is the lack of transparency in local governments' handling of animal abuse cases. When authorities refuse to disclose information or stonewall requests for data, it raises serious questions about what they might be hiding. Another red flag is the absence of accountability. When those responsible for enforcing animal welfare laws are not held accountable for their actions, it creates an environment ripe for abuse and cover-ups. Moreover, when local governments fail to allocate sufficient resources to tackle animal abuse, the truth is, it is a matter of priority, not funding. They allocate resources for countless other programs while ignoring the suffering of animals. Enforcing animal cruelty, in fact, does not require excessive funding, it requires commitment. It strongly indicates a lack of commitment to addressing the problem. When local governments, law enforcement dismisses complaints, they send a clear message. Animal suffering does not matter. This negligence emboldens abusers and allows cruelty to continue unchecked. Citizens who report complaints are just not complainers, they are standing up for the voiceless. Dismissing these reports isn't just irresponsible, it's a failure of duty. Law enforcement must take these cases seriously, enforcing existing laws and recognize that protecting animals is part of protecting the community as a whole. As a former law enforcement officer, investigative journalist, I have seen firsthand how law enforcement handles animal abuse cases. Many officers actually ignore the complaint as a whole and just move on without any real action. Then, there are those officers who have no idea how to address animal cruelty. Shock factor, they have no formal training in animal abuse. And then, unfortunately, you have officers who go to an animal complaint and in their capacity shoot and kill the animal. Time and again, we've seen cases where local governments have prioritized protecting their own reputations over the welfare of animals. They might claim that their actions are necessary to maintain public order or avoid panic, but in reality, they're just trying to sweep the problem under the rug. By doing so, they're enabling animal abusers and putting more animals at risk of suffering. It's our responsibility as a community to stay vigilant and demand transparency and accountability from our local authorities. In Pennsylvania, for instance, a 2020 investigation uncovered widespread animal cruelty at a local animal shelter, including animals being left to starve and suffer in filthy conditions. Despite the shocking revelations, local authorities failed to take decisive action, sparking outrage among animal welfare advocates. Similarly, in California, a 2019 report exposed a local animal control agency's mismanagement of funds, which led to the neglect of animals in their care. In both cases, local governments were accused of covering up the truth to avoid reputational damage. One of the most disturbing cases that highlights the extent of the problem is the infamous 2018 dogfighting scandal in Georgia. After an undercover investigation, authorities raided a dogfighting operation and rescued dozens of dogs. However, it later emerged that local officials had been aware of the operation for years, but failed to take action, allegedly due to corruption and cronyism. The scandal sparked widespread outrage, with many calling for greater accountability and transparency in local government. In many cases, it's the brave actions of whistleblowers that bring such atrocities to light. Their courage in coming forward, often at great personal risk, is vital in the fight against animal abuse. Without them, many of these horrific practices would remain hidden in the shadows. A whistleblower who came forward during the investigation revealed that they had alerted local authorities multiple times about the dogfighting operation, but were repeatedly ignored. This brave individual's testimony exposed the shocking level of neglect and corruption that enabled the abuse to continue for so long. Their courage in speaking out highlights the critical role that whistleblowers play in uncovering hidden animal abuse and holding those in power accountable. As we've seen today, the alarming signs of animal abuse cover-ups are all too real. It's our responsibility as a community to stay vigilant, demand transparency, and hold our local governments accountable for their actions. By doing so, we can create a safer, more compassionate world for animals. As we've seen today, the alarming signs of animal abuse cover-ups are all too real. It's our responsibility as an individual and a community to stay vigilant, demand transparency, demand our local government, demand law enforcement do their job and be accountable for their actions. And as the creator of this video, I can tell firsthand that many local governments, law enforcement personnel do not, and I mean do not, see animal cruelty as a priority. So please, as individual or community, demand these people do their job. By doing so, we can create a safer, more compassionate world for animals. If you've had a similar experience or have a story to share, please let us know in the comments below. I really wish to hear from those who have experienced situations as presented in this video. Example: law enforcement ignored your complaint, local government fails to address animal ordinances, courts have allowed animal abusers to walk with only a slap on the wrist. So again, let me know your experiences and where you are from. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. And if you want to learn more about advocating for animal rights in your community, be sure to check out our next video. And if you are really interested in becoming a true animal advocate, check on my book about being animal advocate on Amazon under Dr. Mark McMorris Jr. We need as many citizens as we can enlist to help us fight against animal abuse. Thanks for watching, and let's keep fighting for the voiceless.